Could you sort of fill people in on magistrate? It's probably terminology. Some people, there are some people in here who don't live in Florida. Could you just give us a little?
We act as like a judge. We are receiving people that present their hearings for they don't like what they see on the assessment values of the property, and then they present it to us with a property appraiser represented at that time. And I said, as a magistrate, my position was to receive all information from the property owner or the agent, and also to the PA. And from there, make a decision if that property, in my opinion, was high on value and should be reduced, or if we can leave it like it is. And that's what I did for 10 years. And it was a great experience for me.
I can only imagine. And so you were there as a magistrate while the real estate boom was occurring, while the pricing was just going up.
When the crazy time was there, at the same time I was doing appraisal, because we worked one time a week only for 8 hours as a magistrate. Mm-hmm. So I worked in my office, and my business was 99% appraisal. I did a lot of appraisals for banks and for private owners, attorneys. So I was very involved in commercial property.
Now, for anybody who isn't aware, in the 80s there was a boom, especially on the condo side. If we can just sort of talk about condos, there was a boom in the 80s on Brickell Avenue, which really sort of helped to develop this city. There's some people who made some money there, and they were ultimately able to turn that into a fortune, so they could actually they're called fortune, so they could build their own projects. Could you tell us a little bit about what you remember from the 80s versus what we see today, and what are some of the similarities? What are some of the differences?
Well, I believe on the 80s we have the opportunity in that particular time that a lot of people from South America and coming in with some money because of the difference on the politics situations in South America. And those people put a lot of money. After that, there was the problem that we have that the people didn't have the money to make the payments because their money value was reduced. So there was a lot of people from Mexico and Venezuela. And I remember that area, that time when Miami Beach, they were selling condos, giving away. Please keep it take it you take it, don't give me anything, just keep making the payments. That was a strange year. But let me tell you what happened between 2005, 6, 7, and 8. I never seen it in my life. I argued so much with bankers when I was doing appraisals on apartment buildings, on condo conversions. I refused to do condo conversions, to give you an idea. I was, the people from banks like Ocean Bank, they were telling me all the time, you don't want to do it? No, I don't want to do it. Because the prices I was checking on comparables, and when you're talking about apartment units, they were selling for 140, 160, 200. I mean, there was no limit whatsoever on the units. And to me, that was wrong. I mean, when I work it out on an income basis, there was no way that those buildings could make any money. Of course, they were making money because they were cleaning the apartments units and they selling right away. But what happened to the people that they couldn't move? After that, we see the situation now. Most of them are out of business.
Was there a moment during this boom and let's say crash that you sort of it became real evident to you what was going to play out? Obviously, nobody knew Lehman Brothers was going to fail. Nobody knew the extent of what was going to happen. But was there a moment in time you remember during the run-up when you said, oh, I think this thing is over?
Well, I wasn't stopping all my family, including my daughter. She's also an estate certified general. And she got very emotional to get involved in real estate. And that is a lot of deals that we can do. We can put deposit on this. I said, don't do it. Don't do it because this is ready to explode anytime.
And did she listen?
Yes, she did. Everybody was an investor. You talk to people and they give you lessons how to invest. Oh, you buy these, you put a deposit here, $1,000, and next week you're making already $10,000. And I mean, and everybody was following that situation. And let me explain you the reason. I was doing appraisals for developers. When they start doing the development, they talk to me and says, okay, we need a study to realize what will be the selling price of this property. So we go to cost, and after I finish all my appraisal, I says, okay, you should sell this property for $180,000. They put an ad. There was people lining from the night before in there to buy it at $180,000. So these people says, hey, this appraisal is crazy. We can sell this property for 210. So they sell 10 units, and the next week it's a new price on the unit. Little by little, we were getting out of business because most of the people, and I can tell you this much: 90% of the people that bought it that time, they couldn't afford to make a payment from day one. Mm-hmm. I went to a lot of closings that the people come out and they have in their pocket $5,000 and $10,000. Instead of, in my time, I remember you have to go there, you pay a check, and you have to pay for closing costs. And this particular year, never happened.
Now to sort of put your property appraiser hat, if you put that on the side, and just talking as somebody who's been an appraiser for quite some time, there's been a lot of criticism of appraisers. I'm not talking about your position. I'm talking about somebody in the industry for, because they're basically the safety stop, the safety switch to not allow things to sort of happen. Did the appraisers deserve the attention, or the criticism, or does the criticism fall on the realtors? Does it fall on the mortgage brokers? Does it fall on the banks? Obviously, it's going to fall on the buyer.
Well, I see everybody sitting here, so I got no problem to tell you. I blame it on everybody. The owner of the property wants to have the bigger amount of money possible. Mm-hmm. The realtor wants to make the biggest commission possible. The appraisal, they don't care. They got business. So some of them, they create like a factory. And they were talking about, oh, no, we do 30 appraisals a week. I got 6 people. I mean, what's this? Then you have the mortgage broker. They're making money. They don't care. You have the lenders doing the same thing. So what's the problem? Everybody. I don't blame one particular person. I don't blame the banks. I blame everybody that to be part of this. On the appraisals, now we can see the opposite side. Now we can see the appraisers that are still in business are becoming too conservative. Mm-hmm. Now they want to make all the adjustments possible on any property to try to protect themselves, because now I'm not doing appraisals because I'm the property appraiser, but I'm reviewing some of them, and I can see the way they are protecting themselves, and they're going to the other side of it.
The other extreme. Now, did that also happen in the 80s? Remember after Brickell crashed, did we?
Yes.
Are we simply repeating what we went through in the 80s, or is this a little bit different?
We have the same problems. And the problem we have in here, there was a lot of people, when the boom was, everybody wants to become an appraiser. Mm-hmm. They were making money. There was people that just coming from the street, passed the test, and he was an appraiser. They have the law in that particular time that you can, as a supervisor, you can have X amount of people, that there was no way you can supervise those people.
Sure.
So they were doing anything they want, and there was a lot of mistakes in appraisals. I can tell you that. On commercial properties, you can see more control because there were all their appraisals involved, and there was not the boom on appraisals. To become an estate certified general, they have to spend time, they have to spend years to get the license. So there was mostly residential and condos, and that's what we see, the situation that we have today.